The word jaguar comes from the indigenous word jaguar, meaning he who kills with one leap. With such a powerful name like that, how can you resist embracing that sort of energy when you need to? So when is this jaguar energy the most useful in your life? I would say that in career situations and when in dealing with people who struggle with boundaries, or the type of people that are willing to use you as a punching bag. And it doesn't go well for them when you can tap into this sort of energy. It doesn't go well. When we think of jaguars, we think of stealth, power, calculated risks. These creatures aren't necessarily built for marathons and endurance. They're built for intense, focused bursts of energy to take down their prey. And the rest of the time is spent stalking, planning, resting, recovering. Jaguar energy is especially useful when applied to being in a position of leadership. And this is a sort of essence I tried to embody when I was dealing with situations that were less than ideal, such as confrontation. Not everyone does well with confrontation. As a matter of fact, it's a true test because confrontations generally arise when least expected, correct? So I will give you an example of when I tapped into some of this jaguar energy when I was in a managerial role and how it was actually beneficial to the room, my position, and to even the other manager who I technically had a confrontation with. So let me paint the picture for you. A fellow manager at this company, she was having what she perceived to be issues with a particular employee, and she was very frustrated with said employee. I believe at a job, if you're going to bitch behind closed doors, okay? If you want to bitch about someone, make it behind closed doors. But the problem was that she became so frustrated that she started complaining about this employee on the floor, in public, in front of other employees. And that's where, as a fellow manager, I knew that I was going to have to step in and stop what I was hearing, because that is a toxic environment that I did not believe that the other employees should have to be exposed to. And that was toxic managerial behavior. I don't think you should ever be berating anyone in public. And this manager was frustrated because she felt that her employee had taken an early break. So she began to vocally complain on the floor about her employee. And that's where the jaguar energy came in, because this other manager, she was one of those hot-headed, very strong personalities, not afraid to tell you exactly how she thinks, very direct, and not particularly the type of person you want to butt heads with. So I knew this could go very poorly for me if I handled this in the incorrect way. Luckily, the thing about the jaguar energy is if you can summon a calmness about you and maintain composure, that's part of encompassing it. So I said very loudly and very calmly, very directly to her, I don't want to hear anyone complaining about anyone else out here on the floor. And the room got quiet, because the thing about the jaguar, you don't always see the jaguar coming. And it doesn't come from the type of person who was going around confronting everybody or creating drama or creating issues. It's very often from a person who never has to raise their voice because the respect is commanded. So if this person is raising their voice, it draws extra attention to the situation because you know she's got real. There is value and power in not flying off the handle all of the time and only being stern when the situation requires it. That to me is what embodying Jaguar energy is. And if you need to summon this beast in your career or in your life, perhaps you're dealing with relatives who are disrespectful to you and it feels like only you, or there is a strained in-law situation. There can be this strange dichotomy between the chosen family and the actual blood relatives. That protective, powerful, stoic, no nonsense energy is your friend in these type of situations. And that doesn't mean that this has to be your personality all the time, but it is a very beneficial energy to tap into when you need it most. The lovely thing about being able to label things for me is once it has a label and I can label that essence, that energy, I can now label that energy as Jaguar energy. And now I know what I need to do to shift a situation. This Jaguar energy, it's not for everyone, okay? Some people, they are never, ever going to want to use this type of persona. They are never going to want to be in any sort of confrontation. And that's fine too. It's not for everybody. But it is a superpower if you can learn to master it. It's a bold energy. It's a very, very bold, intense, memorable energy. And like the intense Jaguar eyes that can stare into your soul, Jaguar energy takes no bullshit. We see through the lies. We see not the words that someone is saying. We don't necessarily listen to the exact words that someone is saying. We listen to the intent and the message behind those words, because sometimes people might talk in circles. I might do it myself, but I hope that the authenticity behind those words is what is really coming through. And that's what it means to embody this authentic, stealthy, powerful, not irate, only fierce when necessary, mysterious, no nonsense energy. If you found this subject matter at all interesting, please let me know down below. I'm very curious about your thoughts. Thanks for joining me. I will see you soon. I tried to embody Jaguar energy in this video. Usually I'm more of like a house cat energy. So Jaguar's like, unlike look maxing, ew, it's like energy maxing. Just remember, if you do choose to embrace a particular energy, you do not have to dwell in that energy always. You can jump from Jaguar to house cat if you so prefer. Okay? Okay? Jaguar energy is intense. It's intense to be Jaguar all the time. But Jaguar, house cat, keep them guessing. Keep them guessing. Jaguar, house cat, monkey. Jaguar, house cat. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, bye. I can't believe I forgot to tell you what happened with that work situation when I summoned the Jaguar. So the manager I confronted on the floor, she actually really respected me for calling her out like that. Isn't that funny? And she even brought it up later a couple of times. And each time she told me, I'm so glad you stopped me from going any further with where I was going. That's the thing about Jaguar energy, is it commands respect, but use it wisely. Because with great power comes great responsibility.